The Zorthan fleet had calculated the odds with perfect precision. 100 warships against Earth's pitiful defense network. A victory margin of 98% certainty. Supreme Commander Kaith had studied human military capabilities and deemed them trivial, a young species playing with technology they barely understood. The invasion began at dawn. Within the first hour, human satellite networks were supposed to be destroyed. Instead, humans had already adapted. They had rerouted communications through civilian infrastructure, creating a decentralized system that couldn't be targeted efficiently. Within 2 hours, human cyber warfare units had infiltrated Zorthan command systems, introducing cascading failures throughout the fleet's coordination network. By day 3, 17 Zorthan ships had been destroyed. By day 7, the fleet commander was requesting reinforcements. On Earth, General Sarah Mitchell stood in an underground bunker 3 kilometers beneath the Rocky Mountains, coordinating humanity's defense with calm precision. Around her, screens displayed real-time tactical information, population displacement routes, and resource allocation charts. She had anticipated the Zorthan invasion 17 days before it occurred, based on intercepted communications and behavioral analysis, and had spent those weeks preparing. Casualties? She asked her aide. 3 million, came the response. But we've evacuated another 200 million to protected zones. The Zorthans are adapting slower than we expected. Mitchell nodded. This was humanity's ultimate advantage, something the Zorthans fundamentally failed to understand. Humans were survivors. Not because they were naturally gifted or uniquely talented, but because they possessed an almost pathological refusal to accept defeat. In a hidden research facility near Mumbai, Dr. Rajesh Patel led a team reverse engineering captured Zorthan weapon systems. Within 72 hours of the first capture, humans had understood the basic principles. Within 2 weeks, they had modified the technology for human use. The Zorthans were facing their own weapons, deployed against them by soldiers who had never trained with them before the invasion began. How are they doing this? Demanded Kaith, reviewing casualty reports that grew more catastrophic with each passing day. His species had conquered 17 star systems. They had never encountered resistance like this. His intelligence officer, a Veltran scholar named Soren, studied the data carefully. They're not fighting us with superior strength, Commander. They're fighting us through adaptation and innovation. Every weapon system we deploy, they immediately begin studying it. Every strategy we employ, they immediately develop countermeasures. What do you mean? I mean, Soren explained slowly, that humans have a biological and psychological drive to survive that transcends normal military doctrine. They don't surrender when facing overwhelming odds. They innovate. They adapt. They find solutions in circumstances where other species would simply accept defeat. Over the following weeks, the pattern became undeniable. The Zorthan fleet attempted conventional warfare. Humans responded with unconventional tactics. The Zorthans deployed advanced weapons. Humans quickly learned how to counter them. The Zorthans tried psychological warfare, propaganda, and selective destruction. Humans simply worked harder, fought more fiercely, and dug deeper into their reserves of determination. On day 53 of the invasion, Supreme Commander Kaith made a decision he had never made before. He ordered a strategic retreat. Not a defeat, he told himself. A tactical reassessment. But the truth was more bitter. Humanity had cost the Zorthan Empire more in resources and military assets than they could afford to lose. And the humans showed no signs of breaking. As Zorthan ships lifted away from Earth's surface, General Mitchell watched from her command center with quiet satisfaction. They had survived. Not because they were stronger or more technologically advanced, but because humans possessed something that seemed almost supernatural to other species, an unbreakable will to persist. In the aftermath, a delegation of galactic powers arrived on Earth to study how humanity had achieved the impossible. They interviewed generals, scientists, and soldiers. They reviewed battle records and tactical analyses. They searched for some secret technique or hidden advantage. What they discovered was both profound and terrifying: humans had no secret. They simply refused to give up. "Explain this to me," said Ambassador Vex, studying a report on human casualties and continued resistance. "Your forces were outnumbered. Your weapons were inferior. Your infrastructure was being systematically destroyed. By all logical calculations, you should have been defeated in weeks." General Mitchell smiled wearily. "We were facing extinction. That's all the motivation any human needs. When survival is the only option, we find ways to survive that other species never imagined possible. We endure. We adapt. We overcome. Not because we're special, but because giving up isn't in our nature." Over the following months, galactic intelligence agencies compiled a comprehensive profile on human survival capabilities. The conclusion was unanimous and terrifying: humans weren't the fastest or the strongest or the most technologically advanced. But they were the hardest to kill. And in a universe full of conflicts and threats, that single quality made them among the most dangerous species ever encountered. Humanity didn't conquer through dominance. Humanity conquered through persistence, the simple, unstoppable refusal to ever truly die.